Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
I have an odd question to ask you. How is your future doing? I know you've probably been asked questions like, what are you looking forward to? And that seems like a more common question. We might say, I'm looking forward to some time away. I'm looking forward to seeing a family member, a loved one. I'm looking forward for the absence of a pandemic. But those things are not entirely about your future. When I'm thinking about future, how your future is doing, I'm talking about hope. Not about certain things that if they go away, you will feel some relief, or certain moments that you will love but will pass. I'm talking about whether you have hope deep in your soul. That's radically different. How is your future doing? You know, your future is a very, very important thing, and often we don't even think about it as such. It doesn't even cross our mind. How is our future doing? If you were to anthropomorphize your future, what would it look like? Would it be an old man, a young woman? Would it be someone who is exhausted, trying to smile but not a very serious smile? Is it somebody that would be depleted or depressed or exhausted? I don't know if you've read these reports that have come out, but you know, young couples now, there's a drastic rise in the number of couples who are choosing not to have children. Their future is not in a very good shape. And when asked, they say what we all know they're going to say: global warming, political divides, talk of war, and oh yes, a pandemic that seems to never end. And they've lost a sense of confidence that they want to bring anybody into a world that has that kind of future. That's why I asked this question. This is a good time of year to do your future checkup. If you took your future to the doctor, what would the doctor prescribe? Would the doctor start shaking her head and just say, doesn't look good? Now, we can't underestimate the power of hope and the way it can affect us. Because I think Christmas is about hope. It's not about anything immediate. Think about it. It's just a baby. Probably never heard a preacher say that. It's just a baby. Really? I mean, so the shepherds leave the hillsides and they say, you got to see this. Wise men, scientists, explorers, astronomers cross borders, take risks, going into new territory. And there's a baby. It's just a baby. Did they go back to their blue-collar jobs on the hillsides, the sheep? Just to the same place as it was they left? Exactly the same. Or was it? Did the wise men leave, find a way back to their country? Did they find a different country? I don't think so. They were seemingly the same, but they weren't. And it's because they had a future. they suddenly got a sense that their tired narrative, filled with fear, exhaustion, depression, impatience, was broken open by a vision that they now have a future. They could feel the hope that the signs were coming together that indicated that God was with them and God would be the guardian over their future. And they were changed. They did not go back to the same place because they were different. Many of you know this program we've been developing for young families, which I'm really enjoying. Started in the pandemic because we couldn't see each other. And the gist of it is it's kind of like Christmas all the time, because we send out packages on their doorsteps that they can't open until they're in a Zoom meeting with me and Keller. And in that package, they unwrap it and they discover something that we use in the lesson of life. We teach them a life lesson, a life skill, a faith lesson, a faith principle, refer to a Bible verse, give them something for their families to do. Well, this last one was entitled Great Expectations, and it was based on this idea that if you don't hold a positive intention for your life, it won't arrive. That it's up to us to begin to change our mindset about the future, about what is possible, and not to just get stuck in a dark narrative. So I asked the children, are you excited about Christmas? And of course they were universally saying, oh, climbing the walls. They were so excited, every last one of them. But the fun started when I asked my second question, which was, aren't you sad that it's not tomorrow? Aren't you sad that it's 2 weeks away? And every last one of them said, no, we know it's coming. What an important lesson for them to remember and experience, that they can wait, that they can expect, that they can feel the joy of a promise, and that enlightens today. You don't have to wait until it arrives. I like to think of Christmas as the first resurrection story, because this message arrived at a point in history where it had been 400 years since there had been a prophet in the land. 400 years without somebody bringing inspiration and hope. 400 years without anything but an oppressive empire. Darkness. They had no future. And this baby is born right in the middle of it. Angels, higher angels, come to speak to the people. Angels bringing promise, hope. God knows that for us to truly embrace the gifts of the Spirit, compassion and love and peace and joy, our future has to be healthy. Our future is something we need to pay attention to. Because when we invite hope into our hearts and look at the world we're in differently, look at our lives differently, this future which subtly took over a little bit for us, started to seem dark and dreary, impossible, not worth living into. When we realize that God is the guardian of our future, that God is there already, that God is waiting for us, that God is ahead of us, behind us, below us, beside us, within us, with this great promise, then we, like a little child waiting for Christmas, can receive that hope without it not yet being present to us. Because isn't that true? If you hope for something, it's a sign you don't have it. And faith is the conviction of things not seen, not yet present to us. So this is a beautiful time of year. It's a beautiful time when we get a sense of all those things we want our life to be like, all those gifts we want to embrace. The question is, will we welcome it tonight? Will we welcome it in 2022? Will we open our hearts to receive hope, the light that will dispel the darkness that so easily creeps upon us? It's possible, because this isn't just a story for a few people. It's a story for the entire world. It's a story for us. For unto us a child is given. Unto us a child is born. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.